suffered for years with reproductive health issue. I was having declining eyesight. I was dependent on my test glasses to see. I was overweight. I was constipated. But most of all, the health issue that had me suffering month in, month out was the reproductive health issues that I struggled with. And most of you may know it as PMS, and the symptoms that I had were the severe symptoms, which stem from having suicidal thoughts because it made me depressed. I had severe mood swings. I was like from 0 to 100 in a split second. I did not understand what was happening with me. So every month I would go through all these awful symptoms, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. Before I left Jamaica, I was in and out of the doctor's office, trying to get answers as to what's happening. How is it every month I'm having reoccurring yeast infection, and all I was getting was suppositories, antibiotics, nothing helped. And from in and out of the doctor's office, not once any one of those medical doctors suggested or recommended that I change my diet, that I look into my lifestyle practices and make the necessary changes as I go along. None of them told me that. None of them told me to pay attention to the type of pads that I was using, none of that. So after I left Jamaica and I began to get really sick because I was having low blood pressure issues, from I was a child, I had that because I was told this is hereditary. So that was what I learned. That was what I knew. So I was like, okay, this is hereditary. I just have to live with this for the rest of my life. But a few months being in Curacao, my low blood pressure got extremely low. I was literally standing up and blocking out. And, I was like, no, this is severe. So I went to the doctors, and of course, they confirmed that my blood count was extremely low and my blood pressure was really low. So I went on the what they call it again? How are you? I'm sorry guys. Beetroot. I went on a lot of beetroot and greens. I did that, right? And I started to feel a little bit better. But the mere fact that I had severe symptoms of PMS and I was having severe headaches to a point where my head was literally paining for like almost 2 weeks. I was like, something is seriously wrong. So I went on Google like what most individuals would do to research my symptoms, and I self-diagnosed myself, and I learned that I had severe symptoms. First I learned that I had PMS symptoms, and when the symptoms persisted and I started to have suicidal thoughts because of how depressed I was like, no, something is wrong. So I went back searching and I learned that I had the severe symptoms. When I had a headache for almost 2 weeks, I was like, no, I need to go to a doctor because I'm desperate now. So I went to a doctor in Curacao, and I didn't wait for her to diagnose me. I said to her, this is what is wrong with me. I told her all my symptoms. I told her, I know what's wrong with me. What can you do to help me? She did confirm that I had severe symptoms of PMS. And you know what she told me to do? My first option was to go and have a baby, and maybe the symptoms will go away. Funny, right? And then she told me, oh, my second option is birth control. So for me at that time, birth control was the option that I opted for because one, I didn't know any better, and I was just desperate. When you are sick, you become desperate, and you will take just about anything that anyone is offering you just so that you can get better or feel better. So I went on the birth control, and it made the sickness that I had a lot worse. I felt a little bit better, but I was a lot worse because I was literally looking like a zombie, right? And I said, you know what? I decided to change my diet. So I gave up beef, I gave up pork, and eventually I gave up dairy products, and I started to feel a little bit better. I started to lose weight. I had a little tummy thing going on, and I saw on the internet that they said green juice help with the tummy thing, man. So I started doing a lot of green juicing, but doing the green juicing, I don't see the tummy going down. So I was like, so how they said these things work? And I continued because I was feeling better. And one day I just stepped out the shower and looked at my tummy and I realized that the tummy gone. And I was like, it actually worked. But long and short of the story is what I suffered with. I know that many women in Jamaica suffers with this because I have a lot of customers that have or is currently suffering with reproductive health issue. And one of my main goals is to help bring awareness to these issues that our teenage daughters or teenage girls are suffering with. It's so sad to see that 15-year-old, 14-year-old, 12-year-old girls are having fibroids. Why? Because mommy is not educated correctly about these things. Our daughters are having extremely painful menstrual cycle and mommy don't know what to do because mommy is not educated. She's sick herself. So I took it upon myself to start sharing information on social media platforms to help bring awareness to these health issues that I struggled with and to shed some light, because our school system, for me, the school system failed me because nobody told me that you need to give up dairy, you need to give up processed sugar, you need to go on a whole plant food diet to help reverse what was wrong with you. And I kid you not, I told Food Fest Massive, just from changing my diet to a whole plant food diet, I was able to reverse my low blood pressure, low blood count. I was going blind, I had declining eyesight, and I was dependent on my test glasses to literally see somebody standing in front of me, and I was able to reverse all my PMS symptoms just by changing my diet and using God-given herbs. So when Felicia reached out to me, she and Michael reached out to me asking me to do this presentation, I was in awe because I was like, really me? And I said, but you are sharing the information, you are bringing light to in some places where, these things are not being taught to us, and our mothers are in the dark. And, I have a statement that I normally say, until we heal the womb of our women, we will continue to have a nation of sick babies. Because once the mother is healed, it's highly unlikely that you will have a child that has no knowledge of self and has no knowledge of the right path to take when it comes on to their diet. Our diet plays a major role in how healthy we are or how unhealthy we are. I'm not saying that you need to become a vegan or you need to become a vegetarian. What I'm saying is, if the foods that you're eating is making you sick, don't you believe it's time to actually make a change? Because that was what I did to reverse all the health issues that I had. I'm not telling you that your healing journey will be all sunshine and roses, because healing is a messy process. And yes, you will have to go through the rain before you get to the sunshine. But once you have healed, you will be able to feel alive. Because I literally was a zombie. Month in, month out, I had to be asking myself if I was pregnant, because those were the symptoms that I had. And mark you, I was not sexually active at the time, but because of how PMS makes you feel sick, I know many women in the crowd today maybe can, relate to these symptoms. You have painful menstrual cycle, you have heavy bleeding, you are nauseous, you are irritable, you have mood swings. Oh my God, my mood swings was from 0 to 100. Like, I could literally be standing here and I transform into somebody you would not recognize. But I give thanks to the greater powers that be. I give thanks to great teachers like Dr. Sebi. I must say Dr. Sebi work has helped guide me on the path that I am on, because no doctor told me that, hey, eat more fruits and vegetables, you need to drink a lot more room temperature water. No doctor told me that. No doctor told me that the commercialized pads that are on the supermarket shelf was contributing to the yeast infection that I had month in, month out, to the point where I literally asked the last doctor that I went to in Spanish Town if he could remove my womb. That was how bad it was. And he looked at me very strange that day. I said, yes, I am tired of this. But when I gave up dairy and I gave up processed sugars and I started to eat a lot more fruits and vegetables, because these food items were lacking from my diet, I was able to reverse all the health issues that I had. I was able to reverse my declining eyesight. How many persons are stuck on pharmaceutical drugs, are stuck in their test glasses just so they can actually see? And I am living testimony standing in front of you today, telling you that any health issue that you have the power within you to heal you naturally if you decide to become your own healer and advocate for your own health. So I'm not going to stay very long, because as I said, I didn't write a speech, I'm going to close by saying, if you can eat yourself to sickness, Surely you can eat yourself to good health. The power is in your hands. What you choose to feed your body directly affects how healthy you are or how unhealthy you will be. You choose. Are you choosing life over death? Because the fire that was inside of me was burning brighter than the dead call that was knocking at my door. Right? So if you want to live, make the choice today to choose better for your health and just do it in stages. The earth has given us so many herbs, and we are so blessed here in Jamaica to have access to wild-crafted herbs that can help to enhance your life for the better. Don't stay stuck on pharmaceutical drugs if it is that you're seeking to heal, because these things literally suppress your immune system. You know, they suppress the symptom, they don't get to the root cause. But if you are seeking to become your own healer, look to the herbs, look to the foods that you're eating, look to the skincare products that you are using, and look around your environment and see if the environment that you are in, if this is conducive to healing, because a lot of times the environment that we are in contributes to what is happening to us. But because we are not around individuals who encourage healing, we are not around individuals who are going to tell, just eat a little of this and a little of that, man, nothing nah do you, while you are still sick. You know, choose herbs. Look to individuals who are actually the blueprint, ones who have healed themselves, who can help guide you on your path to healing. Thank you so much.